Hi guys, welcome back to Goodbye Grains. I'm Alicia, and again, we are not in my kitchen. Truth be told, we're actually in a completely different house. My husband and I moved about a week ago, and as I was unpacking boxes, specifically in the kitchen, there was a handful of items that I realized I just couldn't live without these things. They were the last thing to get packed and pretty much the first thing to get unpacked when we got here if I was going to be doing any type of cooking. So one other side note, because we are in a different house now, and the kitchen and setup is a little bit different, my videos will be shot slightly differently. I'll kind of be utilizing both the kitchen and the dining room to be doing my cooking videos, both with showing you guys the ingredients and doing some prep work, along with also showing you some actual cooking on the stove and stuff like that. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up, it will be slightly different. But today, as you can see by the title, these are my favorite, most used, well loved, and they would be the first things that I would go out and repurchase if something happened to these kitchen supplies, utensils, dishware, cookware, all of that kind of stuff. So let's get started. These, so first off, these are bamboo kitchen utensils, I guess is what you could say. Bamboo, I believe these are bamboo. You could also buy wood ones. I use these things when I'm cooking, if I'm cooking on the stove or even in the oven, every single time. The main reason that I use these, because they are not made of plastic, so they're not going to melt. They're not metal, so they're not going to ruin, my more expensive, kitchen items like cookware, stainless steel pots and pans, anything like that. You can use these to really scrape up, especially this one. This is like one of my favorite ones. You can use this to really scrape the bottom of a pan to get all the little like brown bits. You can toss your vegetables, your roasted vegetables that are in the oven using these. You can use them to dress salads, especially this one. I have like 6 of these. They came in a set. This one has like its matching pair that kind of looks like this, that looks like salad utensils. And then these are also really great for eggs because then you can scrape up the eggs and you don't get like that egg film that gets left over, and then you put it onto a plate and you have the little, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It almost looks like thin paper. This helps with that. So I would highly recommend these. You could buy like a bulk batch of them of like 6 to 8 for like under $10, I think. I do put these into the dishwasher because I want to get them really hot and fully cleaned, especially if they're touching raw meat, since they are, penetrable. They're not like plastic or metal. They are made of, wood or bamboo. So definitely recommend these. One other thing that I use on a daily basis is these cutting boards. Now these came as a pack of 2. There's this small one and then there's a larger one. We bought 2 packs of them, so we have 4 of these boards. They're plastic, they're dishwasher safe, they don't warp, they're super thick. They're not going to dull your knives. I love these. We, obviously, from eating paleo, we eat a ton of meat. And so we don't want to be, worrying about germs, salmonella, raw, pork or beef or something like that that's going on these, and then, we, wash it or something with soap and everything like that and in the sink and then dry it, and would, worry about any of the little bits or pieces of meat getting stuck on here. We just throw these right in the dishwasher. It's as easy as that. I highly recommend these. These were also pretty inexpensive, like maybe, I don't know, 15 to 20 bucks for a pack of 2. So definitely recommend these, and probably cheaper and worth it than getting sick even once. Now these, I have a couple here. They're not matching and they're kind of dirty. Is big giant baking sheets. Now, no, they're not made for cookies, not in my house, or that's not why I have them. I do all of my vegetable roasting on these things because I am lazy and because I don't want to wash a gigantic, I think these things are like 18 by 24 or something like that. I don't want to be washing a giant sheet pan every single day or multiple times a week. I line them with foil and then put all of the vegetables on there and then just wrap up the piece of foil and throw it in the trash and then put this back into the drawer. So that's why they're probably not perfectly clean, but they have so many uses for them, and I definitely recommend them. These I actually got from my grandma. They were moving into a small, apartment and stuff as her and my grandpa got older, and so she gave me a bunch of kitchen stuff, and this happened to be some of it. So thanks, Grandma. So this giant beast, and I say that because it's actually kind of hefty, and I don't know how much it weighs, but this is my Dutch oven. Has like a super heavy duty lid. If you've seen a single one of my cooking videos where I'm making something on the stove of a soup, stew, braised chicken, anything like that, I'm probably using this pot, assuming it's clean, because it is kind of a pain to wash. Because you're not going to stick this in the dishwasher. I think it's dishwasher safe. I'm not sure. I don't put it in the dishwasher purely because it takes up an entire load in the dishwasher. But this is super helpful for, braising meat, for making, soups and stews, for making stock, for making pretty much anything that you're going to be cooking on the stove that you wouldn't want a, low skillet. So I don't use it if I'm just going to be browning meat to make, paleo tacos or something like that, or I don't use it to make eggs, but this is super helpful. I use this at least 2 to 3 nights a week, and it's one of my favorites. This one is nothing fancy. It's by, I don't even know how to pronounce the name. I can put it in the description box below, but it was rated by America's Test Kitchen as their best buy of this. I would love to own a Le Creuset Dutch oven, but those things are pricey, so I picked this one up instead. I actually have another one. They were on sale for 40 bucks, I think, a piece. And so I actually picked up 2 of them, this green one and then one in blue. The one in blue is still sitting out in the garage for when I need it after I'm kind of done with this one. But I've had this almost a year, and there's no real signs of a wear or anything like that, or burnt marks on the bottom or anything. So definitely recommend this. So if you read my blog at all, you know that me and the slow cooker are best friends. This one is super basic. My husband and I actually got it for our wedding. We put it on our wedding registry. This one, it's nothing fancy. All it has is off, warm, low, high. It has no timer. It has, no extra fancy buttons or anything like that, but we love it. I use the slow cooker at least 3 to 4 times a month, specifically on days where either I know I'm going to have a long day at work and I'm not going to want to come home and make dinner, or I'm going to get home late and so my husband and I are going to be eating at different times. Or if we're going to be gone all day on a Saturday or Sunday doing something, it's so nice to come home. Not only does your house smell good, but you come home to a, completely finished, ready meal. You don't have to, even worry about it. And it makes a ton. So we usually have leftovers to make other meals for, throughout the week, whether it's, if I make pulled pork in here, usually I save some to put with eggs, or, I make something that I can kind of turn into a slightly different meal later on. So definitely recommend the slow cooker. You don't need to buy one that's $100 or $150. Those ones are super nice, and they're great, especially if you already have those, but you don't need to run out and buy one of those. You can go to Target, Walmart, Costco, Sam's, anything like that, and probably pick one up for under 50 bucks. So going on the opposite end of the spectrum to cost, the Vitamix. Now, my husband and I made the conscious decision to buy this with wedding gift cards that we had got to Bed Bath & Beyond. We put a bunch of them together and went and bought the Vitamix. I remember walking home with it saying, this costs almost as much as a full installed appliance that is in our, kitchen. And it's been great though. We use this thing at least a few times a week, maybe even a little bit more than that certain days. During the spring, summer, and early fall especially, my husband makes a smoothie almost every day. He would probably have one every single day year round if we blasted the heat in the winter, but he's not gonna eat a smoothie when it's snowing out. But the Vitamix has been great. We use it also. I make homemade coconut milk now. If you've seen any of, my past videos about how I make that, I use the Vitamix. And I also make some soups and stuff like that in the Vitamix. It's easier than an immersion blender. The Vitamix is expensive, so if you have any other high-powered blender for some of my recipes, especially the coconut milk, I'm sure those work just fine. We got by with one of those little like single serving, similar to the Magic Bullet, but not a Magic Bullet, one of the single serving blenders. We got by with that for at least 2.5 years while we kind of scattered or grabbed all of our gift cards to finally invest in this thing. But it's awesome. And if you're a big smoothie fan, soup fan, anything like that, this thing does a ton of other things too. I would recommend maybe trying to save up for one, or maybe even looking, I don't know if you could buy them used anywhere or refurbished or anything like that, but this thing is hopefully not going to die anytime soon. So for my last kitchen essential is these, you can see I have a couple different kinds, is these glass Tupperware containers. Now, both of these have plastic lids. This brand is Pyrex and this is Glass Lock, actually. But the actual base where the food is kept is glass. Now, part of the reason why I only have these two sizes out is because this is one thing we use every single day. If you opened up our refrigerator, there would be food in one of these containers, whether it's leftovers, sauce, dressing, some type of marinating meat, something that's packed for lunches, breakfast, eggs, something like that is in one of these containers if you go into my fridge right now. So these have been a lifesaver. We used to use the plastic ones, the BPA-free ones, when we first got married. We had, registered for a big set of those. They stained, and some of them actually warped in the dishwasher because we would put them in the top rack of the dishwasher, and they would kind of get slightly bent. Plus, I know plastic is. I haven't done a ton of research on it, but people always say, like, don't have so much plastic with, if you're putting it in the microwave. So basically, we went and got these. They have been probably the best investment we've made. We got these ones from, I believe it was Sam's Club. It was like a giant thing. I'm sure they have something similar now. It came with like 8 different glass pieces, plus all their matching lids. And then these, we actually bought 2 sets of these because they came in a set of 5 each. So we got 10 pieces of this kind from Bed Bath & Beyond, actually, for pretty inexpensive. And if you save those 20% off coupons, you get even more money off. So these are super helpful. And I think, personally, they help you to eat paleo more often. And I say that just because I often make, especially as I was saying with the slow cooker, and even with other meals, it's easy right now because it's just my husband and I, so I can make like a really big meal and it'll last us, for so many additional days. Lunches and leftovers, I make, soup and stew, and then I'll freeze it so that it makes for a super easy, quick night meal any day of the week that I don't have to plan ahead. I can literally defrost it and reheat it all in 20 minutes or something like that. But this basically kind of helps you to pack those leftovers away, cut up some fresh vegetables or, prep a salad or something like that. And is, if you're starving when you come home, or, you're really hungry, or your kids are hungry, or your spouse is hungry, it's so nice to just say, okay, go look in the fridge and there's something in there that they can reheat and eat. And you won't have to worry about with these things staining. You can pop them into the dishwasher. This is the smallest of the size that came in this set, and then this is around the middle size that came in this set. So these we usually use for leftovers for like lunches and stuff. For like soup and everything, or for if I make like stir-fried vegetables, we can fill it about halfway. And then these I actually use when I make my egg bake. I make it in a baking pan that happens to, when you cut out the slices, it's the exact size of this, so it's like it was made for an egg bake. So highly recommend these. If there was one item I would say that is most important, I think for me and my husband, for us eating paleo, it's these containers, or really any really good quality Tupperware containers that you're not worried about like the plastic, or you're not worried about whatever it's made of, like, you know, seeping into your food, those chemicals and stuff. So these are fantastic, highly recommend them. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me talk about some of my kitchen essentials. Hopefully the new video shooting type of thing isn't going to be too difficult. I'm trying to create a kind of a setup that's going to work best with some natural light, so that I'm not just using the overhead light in the kitchen. Our kitchen only has a single window in it, and it's kind of blocked by walls and stuff right now. So out in this dining room area is actually really helpful with the natural light because there's a ton of it. So a lot of my video stuff, prep and everything like that, will be shot out in the dining room, just because there's definitely more space, more light, and hopefully would have a better video quality for you guys. So I will see you next week with a new recipe, and have a great weekend. Bye.